Hello there, Brick Fanatics. We are back with more coverage of 3 speculative LEGO Technic sets that imagine a future of space travel that we haven't quite reached yet. 42178 Surface Space Loader, 42180 Mars Crew Exploration Rover, and 42181 VTOL Heavy Cargo Spaceship were designed to try and show what space travel could be like in the future, both in the more immediate future, looking at a potential Mars rover, which was designed in collaboration with NASA, and all the way into the distant future where everything gets a little bit weirder. We had the opportunity to interview a pair of the designers who worked on these sets and ask them questions about how they collaborated with NASA and how they went about designing new LEGO sets that aren't based on anything in real life. If you're a fan of LEGO Technic or just speculative science fiction in general, then this is definitely worth watching. Take it away, guys.
I'm Lee McPeely, Senior Designer at LEGO Technic.
And I'm Aurélien Roufiange, Design Manager for LEGO Technic. So we have here on the table 3 novelty products with space theme in LEGO Technic, launching in March 2024.
Tell me about the process of working with NASA and what they were like as a partner. Obviously, you've worked on real Technic sets before, like Mars rovers and things. Yes. How is it different this time with one that is somewhat high concept rather than real?
Well, basically we just pitched the idea with them, like we want to do something space related, and we would really like to get a lot of feedback from their engineers if they could spend time with us and to answer our questions. And it actually was a great collaboration. They were super happy to share a lot of information and experience, and there was engineers from different projects that were in every call we had with them. I think it was every 2-3 weeks we had calls with the NASA team. And then they were sharing, like, we had tons of questions on how to make this more realistic and something that we can believe in. And then they were answering and saying, like, this you can do, this you cannot do, this in space will never work, or it has to be like that, or even inside if you want to have people living and then having a space mission, like a cruise, and it has to be done like this, blah, blah, blah. And that was helping a lot us to shape the vehicle as it should be. And also helping us to decide what function we should bring in the model and what was really important for them and what they will do if they have this type of missions on a foreign planet. They will, for example, we had to create that new element, like a big balloon ball on the top with containers like for oxygen and to help the air pressure inside the cabin. How they will live inside and what mission they will go with, and also the wheels. You can see that it's regular tires that we have, but they are in grey color because we want to differentiate from what we have in Technic for cars, so not black, because in space you know that it's not going to work as a real tire, it's going to blow up. So adding with that disc brake actually from motorcycle, we create an illusion that it's like a metallic tire or like with some metallic wheel with maybe like it could be like tracks, but it's not tracks. Because if it was, we have tracks. If we want to use tracks, we could, but it will never be the same experience as this one with the same friction. So it will just slide on the table. Where with tires, actually, we have a bit more grip, which helps a lot for the play experience. And then we have a cool function that Samuel Taki, actually was him yesterday presenting that. Yeah. Today he couldn't come. We have this extension bed on the back, so then when the vehicle is shipped into orbit into space, they need to have it extremely compact so it fits in the rocket. So that way, they told us, like, if you can make something that can change shapes and expand when when you arrive to destination, then that would be a big thing. And then he came up with that idea that what if it's something that then slides and gets super compact and super open.
So as you say, that was an idea from NASA, yeah.
And they like to see how it came out.
Oh, right, okay. So, where was the idea from? Where did the idea for this come from? The idea of kind of doing something that's slightly futuristic to very futuristic, rather than doing something that's a more traditional kind of recreation of an existing space exploration vehicle.
Question, I think it was also for us the opportunity to try something new, very new. Like we've done it 25 years ago, and last year with the launch of the Perseverance rover. But there are not too many actually vehicles and products in space that we could recreate and would be really cool also for kids to play with. So we felt like maybe one thing should be like collaboration with NASA on something like a space crew mission, and the rest maybe has to go a bit more fantasy-ish, but
still have some good functions.
But still like bringing the technique packed functions, which is our DNA. So and still something that you can decode what it is, so you can see what you're gonna do with this one easily, and also this one is something that should fly, of course, and carry big cargo, and this one can bring something out of a cave and then can lower it down. But yeah, it's a little bit different from what we normally do in Technic, and I think
it was a cool experience to work on it that way. So.
And we're super happy that also it's a bit different on the creativity side as well. It's not just can you copy that or make this like this.
Of course, yes, you get more input into the design.
There's a lot more creativity and then freedom in what we create as well, which is also really exciting. When we can have these opportunities, we're always happy to jump on that.
We'll take on that.
Everyone in the team fights for that. I want to be on the screen.
So we've heard a lot about the wonderful functions that all of these sets have, and they seem to be filled with things that move. But also, I think it was briefly mentioned yesterday, you talked about product testing and testing these with kids and learning kids kind of get their hands on them and kind of really stress test them. What was that experience like? And did you learn things from that you then had to come back and change?
A lot of it was if they recognized what the model was, because this was a new thing for us. A car would be a car. So do they recognize this type of spaceship? Do they recognize the play? How do they call it? They knew easily to move it, left and right. And then maybe the steering's weird, but okay, that's going to be a weird thing. But this was also a fun one for them to fly around, and they figured it out really quickly. They're like, oh, what's this do? They're not even sure. We're like, oh, that goes up and down,
Do they know what it is? Can they easily see how they're gonna play with it? And then when they figure this out, okay, that's cool. Maybe they play really rough with it, and then if they break something, then we know, okay, let's go back to our desk and try to fix what they break and to make sure that the function is there, but they will not break again.
And we do our own kind of internal stress testing with it, but we know the kids will always do something with this that we don't know what they're going to do. But I think a lot of it is about them recognizing the play at first glance, which is really important to us, that we can create a play experience that's recognizable for kids, even though we're doing something new. They know what a car is. They know what most construction vehicles do. So when we have something new like this,
it was important we test a lot and we see their reaction, because it is fantasy new in a way. There's not going to be a story around it like in LEGO system play theme. So the way to communicate is just by the product, seeing the product and understanding, okay, see there's a cargo, there's something that can go down and up. Probably maybe on packaging we can showcase a little bit of that, but yeah, they need to quickly understand how they're going to have fun with the model and how they're going to play with it.
Was there anything as you were testing that you found that they just didn't understand, or that wasn't as clearly kind of marked out as you would like it to be?
I think we were pretty lucky, actually.
That's really I think
pretty good. I mean,
it could be on functions like this one because it can raise. There was a problem at first. They were playing with it and then they were just pressing down by the weight, so it started to crack. So we went back to the whiteboard and then leave on a new way to make the function so it can crack like you heard now, but it's because it's a linear actuator with a clutch, and the clutch takes away the force and it just go flat. Doesn't break, it just clutch out from braking actually. Before it was like with gears, you're using something like gears and warm gear. And this, if it cracks, it's not good because it's just breaking the teeth. In this case, it's made for that.
And then
so things like this, you learn. Okay, maybe that's good. They did that, so it doesn't happen later.
I think we weren't like for some, at least for me, I wasn't sure if they were gonna get it, and then it's kind of like you go in not being sure if the kids will totally get the experience on it, and we get proven wrong, and it's really good to see that they understand how to play with the toys.
Is there a difference in the way that you would design a Technic set for a younger audience as opposed to older fans who have more experience with building? Or is it all kind of the same but just in a different scale?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. It's no difference if it's for low age or high in age. We want the best experience and we want them to have a good experience when they build as well. And so the whole every model will follow the same process, same quality inspection and same quality process, and and also building with many different colors inside the model to make sure they can easily find the pieces. The only difference, yes, is the volume they will have, and then if they have to open a bag of 100 pieces or 50 pieces and something like this.
Like fewer pieces per bag, just to make sure the age.
I think that's where we see the edge on the box is like this is lower in edge because it's a lower volume.
Yeah.
So we maybe play on the patience. Maybe they have less patience to build something like this big, or maybe it will take them 2 or 3 weeks to build that, and maybe a few days to build this one. It depends also their experience. If they have no experience in Technic, then they should still have the same great first experience if they open this box or this box. But that's
we try
big
to
focus we have in LEGO for that.
We try to give some like different colors of elements for younger ages. Older ages can figure it out, but it's still a little bit harder for them. If you have the same pin and the same color, which is going to be hard for anyone. But then it's looking at even the beam lengths and the axle lengths to make sure that they can see that they're different enough to see in a pile in front of your desk. So.
But in a way, it's also recommended that if you are not used to Technic, maybe go from a smaller product first to get,
even if you're an adult,
to train yourself to all the system interface. There will be more functions, there will be more gearings maybe on this product, maybe not as much as like on the big cars with the gearbox and all of that. There will be maybe these functions, sometimes it may be difficult to add things because maybe it can be a lot of things to understand if you're not used to all of that, but then you build it anyway because the instructions will be the same quality for all the models. So, and then at the end you figure it out. Okay, this is that. Okay, fine.
So you were talking about colors. And using different colours for different things, and we noticed the use of the new orange colour. How did you kind of decide on this colour scheme across these 3 sets? Was that a process where you looked at a lot of different colours of sets, or did you just immediately want to use the brand new colour because it was available?
There was a wish to investigate new colours, but when we saw that colour was going to be available, it was just spot on for us. It felt like this is the right color for a space theme actually. So we all jumped on that as an opportunity to get the color scheme for the models, but also keeping a lot of white as well because you're in space and you need the white color, of course. And it's also something that when you see it, you know it's space related without any doubt because you see this color scheme are already used today, except maybe the orange, but you would see that in a way of maybe futuristic environment would be this kind of colors, but also the white is very used by NASA, and any space agency who wants to go to space, you need white a lot, right? So yeah, it was an easy decision I think on that. Yeah, it was quite obvious from the start. And then we tried different mix of combo and balancing the colors, and then trying to keep something similar. Like there's this orange stripe you can find again on the models, and there should be same design language across the 3 SKUs. So you see there's a unity with them. And
design language started to happen, and it was easier to kind of put the color where it needed to be.
Did NASA have any issue with the idea of you making a more realistic set and then adding 2 other sets onto it that were a bit more futuristic?
No. Also, I think it's more like branded. This one is more like for a Mars exploration mission, and this is like different universe. Kids can do whatever they want. They want to play all of them together, and that's why we wanted to make them connect in a way like they connect. But it's not gonna be shown like this has to be played with this one, otherwise you don't have fun. No, it's just each set will be.
They still need to be like individual sets on their own.
And they only had focus on this one. They were not too worried about what comes next. Yeah.
Was there anything on any of these sets that you wanted to include but you had to change, or anything that kind of was introduced late into the development process?
This one went through a lot of shape changes, just to make sure. We had a lot of ideas early on in the process, and then trying to figure out if how they work well together and how they work well in our assortment. Can the good kids build it? Are they easier to do?
And it was also very challenging because it's very new. Like we've done like trucks or something that's
it's new,
we know, but this is very new. Like something that has to change shape as well. And we wanted this one to be very low to the ground because we imagined this would go inside a cave or mines and bring something back outside, and then it wants to raise to see a bit more above the horizon and
change suspension.
so that was a bit challenging and a lot of redo on this one, and you explored a lot of opportunities for this one, different shape and possibilities.
And it's always gets down to details, making sure functions work, and especially with these newer functions.
And how do you carry the cargo? What cargo it should be, and
Can it lift?
testing with the kids, like do they know what they will do with this, and then how they're gonna pick up the cargo. And this one can carry the cargo. You can take this one as well. But last minute.
I think it just got down to like build level. Was too hard, and then the thing with the worm gear was got too difficult to do, and then was also breaking the gears a little bit. So we went down to the linear actuator, which is an expensive element to use in such a small set. So
I think also good for the blue seats. This one was developed with the blue seat from the start, and then for like I think they should all be aligned, and then we decided I think we should have the numbers also that follows.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And then there was because this one was locked, finished first, and he has number 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4 and 5. So it's like 5 seats, different people would be in.
Build flow is always a thing where we go with towards the end of it. It was great to finally get the shape. I was really happy with the profile and how it ended up.
Pick it up there if you want to as well.
And like how it was nice to be able to kind of sit the models together and see how they stood up, and then making decisions based on like where can we have an alignment on colors and shape. At least for me, that was one of the challenges we had.
Do you have any questions that you want to ask? Covered?
Well, just touching on any other like major challenges that come to mind.
No. I mean, I just kind of like working on my set was. I think like all of the early concept models were like so different from this one. so it was great to be able to explore it, to actually be given the chance to explore it.
And this one was
but still kind of like make sure it works for everyone, for the shape and the buildability. It was really considered. So that was like one of those.
I would say on this one is making sure that it's easy playable, because it's quite big and maybe heavy, and then the weight can be offset. So it was finding the right weight balance on the model. So when you grab it, it doesn't just do like this or like this, and then you keep it nicely firm. And having the output on both sides, so if you're left or right-handed, when you play with it, it still works as fine, and it's not a problem. So you can have the output on both sides, dropping the jaw and then landing gear.
I remember the mechanism on that you had to lift something, and I had to be able to
coming up with
a little bit more than this, just to be sure it was a safe.
So keeping something cool looking, but still not too heavy as well for kids to be able to play with. You can grab this.
Is that a big consideration for a lot of Technic sets, the idea of weight limits and making sure that things are balanced?
Not really, because you don't have to fly it around.
Yeah, I think only when it flies, right? Because
you're thinking about swishability, right?
But for playability, normally you would maybe on a helicopter, you take it like this. But this one, we thought like it would be really cool if kids can just grab it and take off and control just by one hand like this, all the things.
I see a lot of kids going. Got that kind of swoop, kind of profile. And it's such a radically different shape from what we've done before.
You can open this as well if you want to see some details on the inside.
For the budding rocket scientist. Once they look in there, you can make that. That's cool to add those details.
Just going big picture for a minute. Thinking about space as like a passion point. What do you think is the appeal of space to kids and to adults? Do you think it's the same thing that appeals to both kids and adults, or do you think they find different things in space?
Nostalgia for me. Right?
Probably.
Yeah. I don't know. It was always a theme that was available when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Something.
And it goes away, and then
it goes away and comes back.
It's nice to have it back. Yeah.
I mean, NASA and all the countries in the world are doing something with space now. So.
Space is getting really big now, I think, so a lot of things around that,
it feels like a natural,
AI and all of this.
Feels like a natural
futuristic, exploring space. So it was quite natural to bring that back, and then also with the Mars Perseverance rover that we just released, you can also feel like there's a big enthusiasm around that SKU, and then okay, that's good news for us, and also like it feels like the right thing to not stop there and then continue a bit with something else, and very unique new theme like we used to have maybe in the past, but never really in Technic like this big, but it's
like new nostalgia.
There's room for that now for us, which is cool. Yeah.
It's like nostalgia. We know the adult fans will really enjoy the classic space logo and that kind of play. But you know, for new kids, it's going to be something new for them. It'll be fun for them, and hopefully get them interested into space. Like I grew up on space and Technic Lego sets, and this is my set, and it's like both, and it's super like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Achievement done.
Achievement done.
You can retire.
Yeah. So I think it's a pretty awesome like full circle for me to have that and then be able to share it with kids.
And you just barely started in Technic. Actually,
but I've done a few sets. Before.
So then in 30 years, so you get nostalgic over these.
Basically, yeah.
I think there will be
like these small sets, you know.
And kids also will be in love, I'm sure, with the space theme these days. Yeah.
So what's been the experience then of moving from traditional system over to Technic? Do you feel like the design process are different, or is it about the same and it's just different elements?
I worked in LEGO Education, so I was used to working with robotics stuff and Technic actually, so it's not much different in terms of element choice, but it was different to not have to program it for better, you know, for difference. And I got to focus much more on the design and each piece and each shape that made sense for me. So I think that's really cool. And and I did some system stuff over there too. So I mean, they're naturally different. But like the design process for me is roughly the same. You know, your timelines are slightly different, and you have a lot more people to work with. Ton of support. You know, he's done so good as a design manager for us, and giving me the support I needed to help to like get through some of the design and whatever challenges there were on this side. So he helped a lot, and I got to make cool sets for kids.
It's wonderful to have you in the team, so look forward to the next one.
I'll wrap up with one more kind of big picture question. How do you think Technic's audience has kind of evolved over the past 5 or 10 years? Do you think it's changed much?
Well, it's a good question. Yeah. I think it grew for sure. There's more and more enthusiasts about Technic and to learn how it works, but also because of all the partnership that we are adding to the assortment, the lineup. I think it brings a lot of people that were not even aware of Technic or not fan of Technics before, but because they want the Ferrari or they want the Peugeot NX8, or it's going to be maybe new coming back because maybe, like we said, nostalgia. Maybe there will be new people coming back to Technic for the space theme. I think more and more kids, of course, but adults growing a lot also. Yeah.
I feel like the audience has really like grown in terms of just we've had different visibility with different types of supercars and IP partners. It's been really cool to see, and then now we have reviews of Technic sets, just as much as any of the other ones. So I think it was really cool to see, and then we get all that feedback from you guys, from the media, and getting more and more from like online, you know, just reviews of sets.
Yeah.
It's been nice
because
to
this
see.
has also changed a lot in the last years. Like YouTubers and influencers. There's more and more, and people making videos and showing off the product. And for us, it's great because then we see what's liked or not, and what to improve, and can we do something. And so it's great. And then seeing the passion is growing as well from all around the world and all age. So I think it's changing a lot, but in a good way. I think more passionate people also joining.
Of course, we'd always love more.
And there you have it. Just as a reminder, these 3 LEGO sets will be coming on the 1st of March 2024. What do you think of them? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Make sure, by the way, that if you are making a lego.com purchase in the near future, that you use the QR code which is on the screen now, or the affiliate link which is in the description. Doing so helps to support Brick Fanatics because we get a little bit of a kickback when you make a purchase through our links. Make sure, by the way, that you also give this video a thumbs up. Make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you hit the notification bell. Make sure that you go to brickfanatics.com for all of your LEGO news, and make sure that you sign up to our newsletter so that you never miss anything LEGO related ever again. Thank you very much for watching, and have a lovely day.